foreign ministerial level meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission concluded in the capital yesterday, holding discussions on issues of interest and mutual benefit between the two countries. A memorandum of understanding was also signed yesterday between the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India and Department of Food Technology and Quality Control of Nepal. Both the sides have also agreed to revise the past agreements on trade, transit, rail, among others. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama and these are the top stories of the hour. Fifth Foreign Ministerial level meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission concludes. Memorandum of understanding signed between the two countries to provide same status for food security and standard criteria. The ruling and main opposition parties reach consensus in leadership roles at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the Commission of Investigation on Enforced Disappeared Persons. Former Indian Finance Minister Palaniappan Chidambaran arrested on charges of corruption and money laundering. And 55 patients in Kathmandu diagnosed with dengue infections. Doctors warn of an epidemic if authorities do not take measures to control it right away. We'll start with the national political updates. The fifth foreign ministerial level meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission concluded in the capital yesterday. Minister for Foreign Affairs of both the nations put forward their views at the fifth meeting of the Joint Commission. In addition to that, the meeting also discussed on issues of interest put forward by both the sides, and issues of mutual benefit were also included in the agendas of the Joint Commission. A memorandum of understanding was signed yesterday between the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India and Department of Food Technology and Quality Control of Nepal to provide same status for food security and standard criteria. Yesterday's meeting also agreed to revise the past agreements on trade, transit and rail, among others. Both the sides also committed in increasing connectivity on land, air and water transportation. The meeting also decided to push forward partnership issues on water resources, commerce, transit, agriculture, education, among others. A discussion regarding India receiving the report prepared by the Eminent Persons Group was also held during yesterday's meeting. Although the report had already been prepared earlier, India has been hesitant in receiving it. During yesterday's meeting, Indian Prime Minister for External Affairs S. Jaishankar stated, Nepal has now been witnessing political stability after a long period of time and India wishes to see continuity in this regard. The External Affairs Ministry of India and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Nepal witnessed a handing over of a cheque of 87.1 million Indian rupees, which is a part of the Indian government's commitment of 5 billion Indian rupees towards strengthening road infrastructure in the Tarai region of Nepal. 4 road packages are ready of inauguration as well. Likewise, the External Affairs Ministry of India and the Foreign Affairs Ministry of Nepal also witnessed the handing over of a cheque of 2.45 billion Nepalese rupees towards reimbursement to the government of Nepal for housing reconstruction in Nuwakot and Gorkha districts during the meeting as well. Now, Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli and Indian Minister for External Affairs S. Jaishankar had held a parley prior to the meeting of the Nepal-India Joint Commission yesterday. Premier Oli and Indian External Affairs Minister Jaishankar had held an hour-long dialogue at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar. However, a group meeting lasted for just a few minutes. At the meeting, Prime Minister Oli expressed his interest regarding the delay from the Indian side in accepting the joint report prepared by the Eminent Persons Group on Nepal-India relations. In reply, Jaishankar said that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi would receive the report in an appropriate time.
हाम्रो बीचमा अत्यन्त सौहार्दपूर्ण सम्बन्ध रहेको छ राम्रो सम्बन्ध रहेको छ यसलाई अझ उचाइमा लिएर जाने कुरामा यो अहिले जुन वातावरण छ त्यो सकारात्मक छ भन्ने उहाँको पनि सन्देश उहाँले सुनाउनु भयो निजी प्रतिवेदनको बारेमा उहाँहरूले हामी कुनै त्यो एउटा प्रतिवेदन हो दुईटै मुलुकको उच्च स्तरीय तहबाट यो भएको हुनाले त्यसलाई उपयुक्त समयमा हामीले त्यसलाई गर्छौं भन्ने कुरा छ।
At the meeting, Indian External Affairs Minister Jaishankar said that both the nations had strong governments and also expressed India's interest in cooperating on issues of mutual interest. Jaishankar is scheduled to meet President Vidya Devi Bhandari this morning. Minister Jaishankar will be returning home today right after his meeting with the President. The ruling Nepal Communist Party and main opposition Nepali Congress have reached consensus in leadership roles at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the Commission of Investigation on Enforced Disappeared Persons. The meeting of the two sides held at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar yesterday agreed on the selection of the chairpersons and members at both the commissions. Both the parties agreed to select officials from among the recommendations made by the committee led by former Chief Justice Om Prakash Mishra.
संक्रमणकालीन न्यायसँग सम्बन्धित कार्यभारको बारेमा यसरी विधेयकलाई अगाडि बढाएर टुङ्ग्याउने कुराको अतिरिक्त सत्य निरूपण तथा मेलमिलाप आयोग र बेपत्ता आयोगका अध्यक्ष र सदस्यहरूको सिफारिसका सन्दर्भमा भने सिफारिस समिति नै बनेकोले त्यसले छिटै नामहरू सिफारिस गर्ने अपेक्षा चाहिँ पार्टीहरूले गरेको छ।
अब तुरन्तै उता अब सिफारिस समितिले सिफारिस गर्ने बित्तिकै आयोगहरू क्याबिनेटले निर्णय गरेर आयोग तयार हुन्छन् र चाहिँ त विधेयकलाई तयार गर्ने काम पनि तुरन्तै सुरु हुन्छ। संक्रमणकालीन न्यायका बारेमा ठोस ढङ्गले अगाडि बढेर यो प्रक्रियालाई एकदमै निष्कर्षमा पुर्याउने गरेर काम हुन्छ।
The leaders said that the meeting of the Council of Ministers would make its decisions based on political consensus. The parties have also agreed to prepare a bill and have it endorsed through the Parliament to open doors for the commissions to operate in an efficient manner. Victims and right groups had been raising their voices for the amendment of the laws to conclude the issues of transitional justice. Welcome back. Dengue, that was first recorded in the Tarai, spreading to 40 districts this year, has been detected in the capital as well. Around 55 patients from Swayambhu, Balaju, Teku, Lagan, Asan, among other places have been diagnosed with the infection. Doctors have stated the number of patients is at an alarming high this year compared to the previous years and have warned of an epidemic if authorities do not take measures to control it right away. Only on Tuesday, 11 patients at the Shukraraz Tropical and Infectious Diseases Hospital were diagnosed with the dengue infection. Two of the hospital's medical practitioners themselves have contracted the infection. Officials of the hospital have said that the disease that usually had been recorded during the monsoon season was detected a month earlier this year. Dengue virus is transmitted through mosquito bites. The symptoms of the infection include sudden fever, headaches, back and muscle pain, and allergies, among others. The dengue epidemic was first recorded this year in Sunsari, Kaski, Chitwan, and Makwanpur districts. Based on the latest records of the hospitals, 55 patients have been diagnosed with the infection in the capital so far this year, while the number stood at 12 last year. Doctors have warned the number might go further up as the monsoon season has yet to end. The Epidemiology and Disease Control Division has begun programs to raise awareness regarding steps for cleanliness that the public can adapt to prevent spreading of the infection. Doctors have suggested to clear any spaces that could have stagnant water to prevent mosquitoes from breeding. Experts have warned of an epidemic in the capital as the population density is high in the Kathmandu Valley. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the locals in Lumjung district why are public officials not available on weekends. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
शनिबार सार्वजनिक बिदा दिनुको कारणले यो भएको हो। शुक्रबार जसरी तसरी घर पुग्नु पर्यो। शनिबार सार्वजनिक बिदा 100% घर परिवारसँग मनाउनु पर्यो। आइतबार हाजिर गर्नलाई अफिसमा पुग्दै भइहाल्यो।
कर्मचारी युनियनहरु छन्, पेशागत आबद्ध युनियनहरु छन्, युनियनको आडमा पनि उनीहरुले यस्ता गरिरहेका छन्।
देशमा चाहिँ व्यवस्थाहरु फेरिएको छ तर कर्मचारी तन्त्र फेरिएको छैन, एउटा कुरो। र अर्को कुरो न्यायिक नियुक्ति हुँदैन, राजनीतिक नियुक्ति हुन्छ। र तिनीहरु चाहिँ अब शक्तिकै आडमा चाहिँ काम गरेकोले उनीहरु चाहिँ अटेरी हुन्छन्।
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what do you term the provision which requires each citizen to submit details of land under his or her ownership to the government? Your options are A, preparation to keep managed records, B, effort for effective sealing, and C, challenges in implementation. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And time now for the sports update.
Sports news.
Hosts Nepal have crashed out of the AVC Central Zone Men's Volleyball Championship after suffering a straight-set defeat against Maldives. Nepal had also lost their first match against Kyrgyzstan in straight sets. In the match played at the Nepal Army's covered hall in Lagankhel yesterday, Maldives defeated Nepal in straight sets 25-22, 25-21, 25-14. Lack of coordination between the players cost them the match. With the win, Maldives have advanced to the semi-finals of the tournament. Meanwhile, in another match played yesterday under the AVC Central Zone Men's Volleyball Championship, Uzbekistan defeated Afghanistan to book a spot in the semi-finals. In the Group B match played at Nepal Army's covered hall, Uzbekistan brushed aside Afghanistan in straight sets 25-23, 29-27, 29-27. Uzbekistan have remained undefeated in the tournament so far and will now face Maldives in today's second semi-final matchup. Today's first semi-final features a clash between Kyrgyzstan and Turkmenistan. Nepal will, however, compete against Afghanistan tomorrow for the 5th position. Now, Manchester United and Inter Milan are yet to reach an agreement over a deal for forward Alexis Sanchez. The CDR side were hoping to find out if they had a chance of signing Sanchez, initially on loan, by the middle of this week. However, the 30-year-old's one-week salary of £390,000 has been problematic, as Inter Milan are only prepared to pay less than half of the amount. United have said the offer is unacceptable. Meanwhile, Sanchez wants to leave as soon as possible. Inter Milan has said they would take the former Barcelona and Arsenal player on loan for 12 months and sign a permanent contract with him. Time now for our special segment, Glorious History.
The sinking of the nuclear-powered Oscar-class submarine Kursk took place during the first major Russian naval exercise in more than 10 years in the Barents Sea on 12th of August 2000, killing all 118 personnel on board. Nearby ships registered the initial explosion and a second much larger explosion, which registered 4.2 on the Richter scale on seismographs as far away as Alaska, yet the Russian Navy did not realize that the sub had sunk and did not initiate a search for more than 6 hours. By the time it declared an emergency 11 hours later, everyone among the crew members were dead. Nat Turner's rebellion, also known as the Southampton Insurrection, was a slave rebellion that took place in Southampton County, Virginia on 21st of August 1831, when rebel slaves killed 55 to 65 people, at least 51 being white. The rebellion was put down within a few days, but Turner, who led the rebellion, survived in hiding for more than 2 months afterwards. The rebellion was effectively suppressed at Belmont Plantation on the morning of 23rd of August 1831. There was widespread fear in the aftermath, and white militias organized in retaliation against the slaves. The state executed 56 slaves accused of being part of the rebellion, and many non-participant slaves were punished in the frenzy. Approximately 120 slaves and free blacks were murdered by militias and mobs in the area. This is Bipashna Damang for Kantipur News Desk.
And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.